Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today in the group, private group, we're going to talk about XRP whale activity. It's apparently on the rise. What could this mean? You can join by going to daixrp.com to join through the Patreon, or you can click the join button right here below any of my YouTube videos, or you can join through X. Hit the subscribe button. I post the videos there, and by the way, I do the full video plus extra content. And in there you get no commercials. That is how it works. Now, ask yourself, what is the commonality? All the hacks you ever hear about, what do they all have in common? One thing. Here's a new one, the 42 million GMX exchange hack. This particular exchange is a decentralized perpetual exchange. But what do all the hacks have in common? One thing. They target crypto, and then they send out crypto. That's what they do. Right here, the hacker moved roughly 9.6 million of stolen funds into the Ethereum network. From there, the funds were converted into DAI and ETH, likely to be laundered through Tornado Cash, a known token mixer used to obscure transactions. And poof. It's always crypto that they send out. That's why I partnered with iTrustCapital, because they have the closed loop system. It is crypto and cash in, but only cash out. This is the ultimate barrier to keep crypto safe. You get institutional custody. The only fee is a 1% trading fee on iTrustCapital. You get institutional custody for free. It's a no-brainer for me. It's where I have a lot of my XRP. iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army is where you go to open an account. They have IRA accounts and the premium custody account, and you can get a they have a using promo code XRP6 you can get $100 funding bonus. I also have the link to that, all that in the description of this video. XRP's at 289. It's just sitting there, sitting around. The whole market had a little bit of a pullback, but these are normal in these times. Things are about to get interesting. Here's one reason. Nice ARCA approves ProShares Ultra XRP ETF. Now, I don't think that's a spot ETF. I think it's one of those, an Ultra XRP ETF. I'm assuming it's like one of those 2 times, kind of like the Ethereum ETF. CME Active Trader major milestone. XRP and micro XRP futures crossed 230 million notional traded on July 11th, bringing total notional traded since launch over 1.6 billion. The record underscores the rapidly growing demand in our new XRP futures suite. Key stats: 9.1 thousand and total contracts, 82 million plus equivalent XRP. All-time high volume for micro XRP contracts. Now, this guy here, his name is Robinson Berkey. He is I should be following him. He's the co-founder of Wormhole that just partnered with Ripple. I got 2 great clips from him here.
With the Ripple integration more broadly, obviously we're really excited because it's a new ecosystem, but it's very unique in the sense that the way I think about, and I want to be careful here about how I say some things. There's obviously XRP Ledger, there's Ripple, very much so separate in a lot of ways. And how I think about maybe Ripple and the XRPL ecosystem is a lot of, maybe the best way I'll say it is a lot of untapped potential. Obviously, there's things within the ecosystem that have done quite well. Obviously, there's the token has done well, and there's strong mindshare within Ripple. But what we've seen, or what's exciting to me about Wormhole, is that now we're going to be able to connect what is a very active ecosystem. I think it's, Luke can keep me honest here, over 6 million users. We can kind of connect this ecosystem that has been largely on an island for a while to the rest of crypto. And I think that to me is the most exciting piece. A A lot of people are very familiar with Ripple, very excited about it. But now a lot of that can be unleashed across chains like Solana, chains like Ethereum, chains like Sui, and vice versa, which I think is something we haven't seen yet. And obviously there's the XRPL component to this. There's also the EVM sidechain, which was recently announced, and we'll be announcing our connection quite soon, which is exciting. We're obviously connecting to XRPL, as we've also talked about. But then there's the assets that also are involved within the Ripple ecosystem. There's assets like RLUSD, and congratulations to Luke and the team on this is on the Ripple side, from what I understand. It's not the XRPL side, but recently hitting 500 mil in issuance, which I think is a huge milestone, especially given I think in March it was significantly lower, maybe 10x lower. And then there's of course XRP and starting to see a lot of these XRP assets. And I know that's very separate, but it's also exciting to see Kraken coming out with one, Coinbase coming out with one, and there's a lot of other teams doing it as well. So it's kind of a cool Cambrian explosion, or Ripple renaissance, if you will, that's kind of happening, and excited to be a big part of it.
Now, I wonder where he heard the term Cambrian explosion. That's what Chris Larson said when we finally get that interoperability, that you would begin to see a Cambrian explosion, and that's when this whole thing goes off. We're in the middle of it. Now, this clip, he's talking about the potential of RLUSD taking on the incumbents like Tether and USDC with Ripple's resources. He says he thinks it can be done. I think it's going to be done.
And I think there's a lot of excitement also around RLUSD. A lot of the community members were talking about RLUSD. If we think about these stable coins that, these large incumbents like USDT, USDC, they obviously have strong network effects, and we know strong network effects are something that's pretty, hard to beat, obviously. But if we think about like the one stable coin that could kind of challenge these incumbents, it's RLUSD. I mean, I think we've seen the rapid growth, which is exciting, and I'm speaking about this in particular, obviously, because Jack leads that initiative over, within the Ripple team. But obviously, we've seen pretty rapid growth already. I bet we hit $1 billion in, very soon. I won't put a time frame on it, but very soon, given the growth. And I think that there is an opportunity with Ripple's resources to challenge these incumbents. I don't know many other stable coins that I could feel have that shot. But I do feel like RLUSD does, and that was some of the excitement I was hearing from folks on the ground. Obviously, again, it's Jack and the focus is stablecoins, so a lot of the community was focused there too. And I also think that was the day after we announced the EVM sidechain connection, and that we're also connecting to XRPL.
There you have it. And here's speaking of stable coins, here's Jeremy Allaire from Circle.
Well, it's been an exciting time, obviously, for what we do. I think just overall the awareness about stable coins, the role that they can play, major institutions really making it clear that this is going to be a key part of the way money moves in the world. And as the leading regulated stablecoin network in the world, we're I think in a really we're in a great place to build on that, and
I think Ripple is in a great place to win. I've told you for a long time that I was told a long time ago that XRP was created to prevent World War III and to replace the Petro-dollar system. Here's Jim Rickards talking about what's happened you got to learn from history, folks.
We did not lose our reserve currency status because of the Petro-dollar Accord in 1974, and I had a role in that. It was my first meeting on official business in the White House. I met with Helmut Sonnenfeld, who was the deputy national security advisor. He was known as Kissinger's Kissinger. He was Kissinger was the national security advisor. Helmut was the deputy, but everyone thought Helmut was smarter than Henry. So he was sort of the big brain. We were working on the invasion of Saudi Arabia. It was Jerry Parsky and Bill Simon, who was Secretary of the Treasury.
Jerry Parsky's been on this show.
Oh, well, he's great.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's probably episode 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good cop, bad cop routine. So Parsky and Simon were the good cops. They went to Saudi Arabia and said, if you price oil in dollars. Everybody in the world is going to need dollars because they need oil, but you can take the dollars and put them at Citibank, and then Citibank will lend to South America, they'll buy our stuff, and the whole system will keep going, and it worked. But that was the carrot. The stick was invading Saudi Arabia, setting up a security perimeter around the oil fields, setting the price, pumping the oil, putting in trust for the future Arab people, basically taking over Saudi Arabia's oil fields. So that was the team I was working on. And we leaked it to the Chicago Tribune, and anyway, that's the whole story. But it worked. Basically, Parsky did that deal along with Bill Simon. But my point is, Nixon devalues the dollar 95% measured in gold, and also against the other currencies. That was the Smithsonian Accord, the Smithsonian Agreement they called it. But we got about a 20% devaluation against the yen. But everything went down against gold. But we preserved our reserve currency status by the Petro-dollar deal. Okay, so Nixon pulled it off, and Ford followed up.
That's what I've been saying. Crypto was a planned long ago to be the next salvo of protecting the U.S. dollar. And how do you do that? You got to replace the petrodollar system. Okay, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com. We're going to talk about XRP price and XRP whale activity and how it affects price. I'm the digital asset investor. You can go, oh, by the way, you can go to DAIXRP.com for the Patreon. Click on the join button below any of my YouTube videos, or you can hit the subscribe button on X to get the extra content and no commercials. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.